Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanao Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvina Vadhitamastuma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Ishvaro Gururatmeri Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyaptade Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Lokashankaram. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Gukarastvandhakaro Vai Rukarastan-nivartakaha Andhakara-nirodhitvat Gururitya-vidhiyate. Recite the first verse. Jagrat swapna sushuptishu sphutatara Ya samvidujrumbhate Ya brahmadi pipilikantatanushu Prota jagat sakshini Saivaham na chadrishya vastviti dhrade Prajnapi yasyasti ched Chandalostu satadvijostu guru Ityesha Manisha mama. Ya samvik Jagras Swapna Sushuptishu Sfutatara Ujjambhate. Ya samvik, that consciousness Sfutatara Ujjambhate Swayameva Prakashate, the one that shines on its own, very clearly shines. Sfutatara, clearly. Ujjrumbhate Prakashate, that which clearly shines. Jagrat, Swapna, Sushuptishu, in all the three stages of waking, dream and deep sleep. So the one that shines in the three stages illumine the three stages that are constantly changing. Jagrat comes and goes, and Swapna comes and goes, and Sushupti comes and goes. That there is a constantly coming and going is happening as far as the states are concerned. And these are states of the mind, by the way. It is mind that is awake, it is mind that is dreaming, it is mind that is sleeping. Not the self. Atma doesn't sleep. And so Atma cannot be called awake also. The one is called awake who is sleeping, but it never sleeps, therefore you can't even say Atma is awake. Atma ever shines. It is mind which is waking, which dreams, which sleeps. So waking comes and goes, dream comes and goes, sleep comes and goes. When all this coming and going is taking place, one that is devoid of coming and going, that is ever there, ever constant, ever shining, that is Sambit or consciousness, because we know that this is waking. The dreamer knows this is dreaming. And so that because of which we know is the consciousness. Surtaraya samvidujrumbhate. So our attention is drawn here to that which remains changeless amongst all changes. That whatever it is that we experience is constantly changing. What is objectified, what element is constantly changing. That all the change must have a basis that is in changeless. And that is the one that eliminates the changes, and that is Sambit or consciousness. So, this is what we are required to do. Shift our attention from what is object, what is changing, to that which does not change, that because of which the change is known. Like Kenopanishad draws our attention, yen manasana manute yena ahur manovatam, yet chakshushana pashyati yena chakshunshi pashyati. That which one does not see by eyes, but that because of which the eyes see. We are so preoccupied with what the eyes see, with what the ears hear, with what we perceive, with what we experience, we are so preoccupied with that we overlook that because of which experiences take place. Upanishad says it is not what the eyes see that is important, it is that because of which the eyes see is important. It is not what we experience that is important, it is that because of which we experience is important. And that is called Sambit or consciousness, which illumines all experiences. And therefore, we are so preoccupied with what we experience. Not that it's not important, but what we experience is not as important as that because of which experience takes place. What experience is not that important as compared to the one who experiences. And that is what the Upanishad wants to draw our attention to, that you are overlooking something important. On account of being preoccupied with all this transient, unimportant thing, which to you are most important, of course, which the human being considers the most important. What I've experienced, what came, what went, what I got, what I lost, what is success, what is failure, and so on and so forth. The whole process we miss that because of which we experience this. And that is conscious, that is the self. Jagrat, Swapna, Sushuptishu, Sfutatara, Yasambid, Vijrumbhade. So this is how we are told that the nature of the self is Sambit or consciousness. Second line says, Ya Brahmadi Pipili, same Sambit, same consciousness that is myself, that illumines all my experiences in waking, dream and deep sleep. That Sambit is also not on that not only illumines experiences in my mind, does not only illumine my experiences, it illumines everybody's experiences. Meaning that, that was very clever. Second line says, Ya Brahmadi Pipilikanda Tanushu Prota. Tanu means the body. Brahmadi, beginning with Brahma, the creator, the largest, the most important being, to Pipilika, an ant. From the biggest one to the smallest one, whatever exists, to include everything, whether it is good or bad. So beginning from Brahma all the way up to the pen, however it is, good, bad, indifferent, doesn't matter what it is. Because what is illumined is not important. The one that illumines is important. Ya Brahma Dipipilika Tanushu Prota. Prota means that which pervades. Otam Protam, like this cloth is made of this, thread, or the yarn which goes up and down, warp and woof. That's Protam, pervading. Just as the cotton pervades the cloth, so also this consciousness pervades everything. Why I don't see it, Swamiji? If consciousness pervades this wall, does it pervade this table? Does it pervade the tree? Even the table is conscious. Is consciousness present in table? In chair? Not the way we understand consciousness. We usually equate consciousness with sentiency, with life. So, any entity that is alive, we say it is conscious. The consciousness is there in an entity which is alive. There is no consciousness in an entity which is lifeless. But depends upon what it is that we mean by consciousness. Consciousness is not only life or sentiency, consciousness, asti, bhati, priyam is called consciousness. Consciousness is, it shines, it is limitless. Asti, bhati, priyam, that is called consciousness, that is called intelligence. So we, in our mind, always associate consciousness with life. And those entities that are alive, we think they are conscious, and consciousness is present in the living beings. We do not think consciousness is present in the lifeless entities such as tables and chairs. But here we are told that the consciousness pervades everything, beginning from Brahma all the way up to an ant. But Swami, is consciousness in table? It is asti, bhati, priyam. The table shines in my consciousness, and table is useful, the table is dear. Thus, every entity, whether it is alive or lifeless, sentient or insentient, this much we can always say that it shines in my consciousness, it serves a purpose, today or tomorrow. And therefore, asti, bhati, priyam. It is present in everything, whether we classify it as good or bad or indifferent, right or wrong, pure or impure, saintly or evil. In all of them, without exception, asti, bhati, priyam, because the thing is, because the thing shines in my consciousness, and at least it loves himself. Everybody loves the self. If we do not love something, that thing loves itself. In a way, we also, given the right situations, we also would love anything. Given the right conditions, we also would love even something that we hate right now on account of conditions that prevail in my mind. If those conditions change, then what I hate right now, I may see something in there and I may love that. Because that potential is there in everything, that potential attractiveness is there in everything. Asti bhati priyam. And that is samvit. Ya brahmadi pipilikanta tanushu prota, that which pervades as a self of everything, all beings, beginning with Brahma all the way up to an end. So it's not only my Atma of the self, it is the self of all living beings. Lord Krishna says, Mai Saramidam Protam Sutre Maniganaiva. The whole universe is sustained by me, just as a thread sustains a bead, and so also Lord Krishna says, I sustain the whole universe. These beads are all various names and forms, being from Brahma to Pipilika to an ant. And the one that sustains all of them is, you can call it samvit, consciousness, asti bhati priyam. So we are told here that there is one in reality. There is reality of mind and the reality of the whole universe also. No two realities. What is the reality of this individual is the reality of Brahma and also the reality of an ant. So I look down upon an ant as an insignificant creature and I am a significant person. But ant also is the same consciousness in that form, and this is the same consciousness in this form. Meaning that consciousness assumes variety of forms. One actor assuming countless costumes. So Brahma has a costume, all the way up to Pipilika or ant also is another costume. In all the various costumes, there is one that shines, and that is Ishvara, Lord, consciousness, Brahman. So very most wonderful concept, where we can become indifferent to the costumes. In any case, even on a stage, in order to appreciate the actor, we have to become indifferent to the costume. When you go to a movie, when you recognize our dear, actor that I like, I become indifferent to the role that he has taken, then I can recognize him. So there are those who will recognize that actor regardless of what costume he comes as the pa, this pa, something. Looks very, there also they recognize who he is. So from the eyes you can recognize actor, recognize person, recognize anybody. So those wise people who recognize it just by existence, just asti, bhati, priyam. That's all the lakshana, the character that is required. When does it become possible, When the costume does not matter to me. When can I recognize the actor? When the costume, I'm indifferent to the costume doesn't matter whether it's a king or a beggar or even a villain. In Vedanta we say that we are indifferent to costume or we negate the costume. Costume is mithya. I recognize that. Mithya means that which does not change the truth. So regardless of what costume the actor wears, it doesn't change him or her. Therefore I recognize. So also whatever costume Bhagavan wears, costume consciousness wears, it doesn't affect the consciousness. Ishavasam, idam saram, yat kincha jagatyam jagat. Whatever there is in jagati, it's a very inclusive view. That Everything is pervaded by Ishvara, regardless, even an evil also is pervaded. Not that a Satan or evil is excluded from God. God does not exclude anything. But Swami, how can you say that Bhagavan is also there in Satan? In such an evil person also there is Bhagavan? As much as is there in the saint? Yes. Because both the saint and Satan, both of them happen to be only costumes. Meaning that from the Vedantic standpoint, both of them are mithya. Both of them are appearances. One Bhagavan appears as a hero. Same one appears as a villain. It is just an appearance. That's why the Vedantins call it mithya, meaning that recognize. So they are inviting us to recognize the reality. And that is possible when our mind becomes free from likes and dislikes. When mind has attachments, aversions, preferences, and this is good, that is bad, automatically mind will classify it this way. When my mind is objective, in the words of Puja Swami, objective. I'm able to see things as they are without projecting. So our mind therefore should become free from raga dvesha to see things as they are. Otherwise we don't. That's called vairagya. Called objectivity, mind is free from raga and dvesha. Then I see, then I don't project, then I appreciate what is. Not that I don't see an evil person, I see what, but I have no reaction towards that. Right now when I see an evil person, a reaction arises, I hate him. I hate somebody, and I love somebody, and I like somebody, I dislike somebody. These reactions keep on arising from me. It is my problem, not the problem of that entity. And therefore, I have to bring out a transformation in me such that I can be equally generous to everybody. Can I generously accept that he also has a role to play, he also has a place, an evil person, entity also has a place, and therefore let him be there in his own place. I have no complaint, I am comfortable. If we discover comfort, then we can recognize the truth. See, a scientist, first, he is objective, he doesn't care what this thing is, then he can investigate. The problem with Atma or the truth is that we are not objective. We already have opinions that this is right, this is wrong, this is good, this is bad. See, when a scientist investigates a specimen, he has no opinion about that. I hate this. No, he doesn't say that. I love this, doesn't say that. Whatever specimen comes before him or her, they objectively analyze. The problem with us about the self is we already have so many notions about ourselves that we are not objective with our own self. And so we are not objective with the world. And therefore we are drawing conclusions not out of objectivity, out of subjectivity. That mind automatically superimposes something or the other and then draws conclusion. Therefore we are told to acquire a mind which is non-projecting mind, which doesn't have this agenda about anybody, raga, dvesha, I'm objective. Then you can enjoy the things as they are. You can enjoy the world, you can enjoy everything. Then you can enjoy a tiger also, enjoy a lion also, enjoy a snake, enjoy anything for what it is. You don't have to bring it to your home. I don't mean that that's why you have to do that. Let it be in its own territory. Everything is beautiful in their own territory. Everything is beautiful as they are. So you can imagine how a wise person is just enjoying everything because of the manifestation of Ishvara. Ya brahmadi pipilikan tanusu prota. That's samvit. That means the beauty. Samvit can be called consciousness. You can call it what you like. If you have, preference for the word beautiful, you can use that. If you have preference for love, you can use that. preference for any other word, like compassion, that it all applies here. The very best or the noble, the emotions will apply to this. Whether we are asked to be non-violent or truthful or compassionate or kind, all of these are in keeping with the nature of the self, the Samvit. So when we are objective, then we realize the same Ishvara, same Bhagavan or Paramatma is the self of everything, pervades everything. When I become indifferent to the costume, whatever the costume is, whatever the name and form is, I don't overlook the fact that it is Asti, Bhati, Priyam, is consciousness. For that, I must become indifferent to the costume. Whether it's male, female, right, wrong, whatever it is, it's costume. So my favorite actor can come as a villain also, I don't mind, because I don't give reality. So these are all costumes. And the one that manifests through all the costumes is that Samvit, the consciousness, Asti, Bhati, Priyam. Ya Brahmadi Pipilikanda Tanushu Prota. Prota means pervading. Jagat Sakshini. And that Samvit is Jagat Sakshi. Sakshi means witness. Sakshat Ikshate, the one that witnesses directly, immediately, without any projection. Sakshini, again the feminine of word Sakshi. Jagat Sakshini, that which is the witness of the entire universe, which is the self of the universe. How? By being the witness of everything. Samvit is myself by way of being the witness of my thoughts, illuminator of my thoughts. So the same Samvit is the self of every creature by being the witness or illuminator of them. So this shows the identity. The first line described Samvit as myself. The second line describes Samvit as the self of all. Self of Jagat. So self of Jagat is called Brahma. Brahma is Jagat Karanam, or the self of all is called Brahman. Self of individual is called Atma. First line describes Atma. Second line describes Brahman and gives the Saivaham. Saivaham, that which is the self of the entire universe. That's Samvit, I am the self that I am. So Sa stands for the Jagat Karanam, Jagat Sakshi, Brahman. Aham stands for the self, the Atma, Saevaham, that Brahman I am. This becomes Mahavakya. Normally it's Soham. The famous statement is Soham, that I am. He says Saham, she I am, Saevaham, that alone I am. If that alone you are, then what you are not? When he says that alone, that means what are you excluding? Nacha drishya vastu. That Samvit, the consciousness, that alone I am, nacha drishya vastu. Drishya means that which is perceived, objectified. Drishya means that which is objectified. And the subject, drashta, and what is the object of my knowledge? It's called drishya. Drishya, drashta, drishya, subject, object. That Samvit I am, not the object. So, drishya vastu. Vastu doesn't mean the reality. Vastu means just entity. I am not drishyam. No, that drishyam in Jagat I am not, because that's all perceived. What is outside the body, I am very clear that I am not that. Thank God, that much we have no problem there, that I am not table, I am not chair, I am not microphone, I am not camera. If that happened, then there will be big problems, but this much we are very clear. Because that is object and I am subject, and subject is different from object, no problem. The problem arises when it comes to this body. If we are objective, then realize that body also is an object. Meaning, I'm aware of the body also, as much as I'm aware of this part. Is it not so? Aware of my hands and legs and all parts of body. I'm more intimately aware of my body than I'm aware of the tables and chairs. But table and chair, I have no problem that I am not table, I am not chair, because I am the subject, table and chair is the object. When it comes to body, what's the problem? I don't know. Somehow our mind changes. When it comes to this body, the body is equally an object of my experience, is it not so? Idam shariram kaunteya kshetramitya vidiyate. So Lord Krishna says, hey Arjuna, this shariram or body is called kshetram. It is drishyam. It is object. It is anatma. Lord Krishna did not have to say the table is anatma. The chair is anatma. The wall is, because Arjuna also knows. Meaning Lord Krishna need not tell Arjuna what he already knows. He thinks that this is Atma. Arjuna means you and I think that this body is I. Therefore the need to draw our attention to the fact that the body technically falls in the same category as the part. Part also is drishyam, I am drashta, part is drishya. And I am drashta and the body also is drishya, is it not so? Am I not aware of the body? Do I not see the body? Do I not experience the body? Just I experience the part. But part I have no problem in saying I am not the part. When it comes to body, something happens. I call the body as I. That is where all the problems begin. So why do you say, problems? Yes, problems begin. Because the Swami used to say that every part of the body creates a complex. Beginning from head, whether I have hair or not, how much I have and what kind of hair, beginning from there, to the eyebrows, to the nose, to the lips, to the face, to the stomach. Every part of the body, when identified, creates the complex. So, body is a very great gift. But when I call it I, it becomes a big problem. Body is not the problem, the identification of the body is the problem. Nacha drishya vastu. Therefore the teacher says, I am not drishya vastu. I am not that which is objectified, which is the object of my awareness. Just as a part I am not, the body also I am not. Body includes gross body, subtle body, causal body. Meaning that also includes my mind, because I am equally aware of my thoughts. Equal aware of my body, aware of my thoughts, aware of my emotions, aware of my success, failure, wealth, power, fame, aware of everything. So I am not that. But nobody says I am wealth, Swami. I don't say I am wealth, but somehow wealth has some kind of a magic on me and makes me bigger than what I am. When I did not have much money, then I thought I was little, and now that I have some money, I think I am something. These things have some kind of magic that I measure myself by what I have, And therefore what I have and what is around me has become so important in my life that I am always measuring myself. And sometimes feeling inferior because of them, sometimes feeling superior because of them. Nacha drishya vastu. Whatever is drishyam, I am not. So the Vedantic teachers will teach us the 5 Panchakosha viveka and avasthatraya viveka and shariratraya viveka. The Tattvapada will say, Sthula, Sukshma, Karana, Sharirad, Vyatiriktah, Panchakoshatita san, Avasthatraya Sakshi san, Yastishtati, Satchidananda, Tattvabodha. Sthula, Sukshma, Karana, Sharirad, Vyatiriktah. I am distinct from the gross, subtle, causal body. Panchakoshatita, I transcend the five sheets, Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya. Avasthatraya Sakshi, the witness of the waking, dream, deep sleep. They all fall in Drishyavastu. Three avasthas, Drishyavastu. Five koshas, Drishyavastu. Three bodies, Drishyavastu. This I am reminding to some of you who have read this, so just to connect this. Sayavaham nacha drishyavastu iti drudha prajna. The one who is drudha prajna, drudha means firm, prajna means wisdom or the knowledge, drudha prajna, firm knowledge, abiding knowledge. So here the Tikakara asks, what is meant by drudha prajna? What do you mean by firm knowledge? What is knowledge and what is firm knowledge? They would say, right now the knowledge I have that I am the body. To say that I am body, no thinking is required. Who are you? Who are you? I am a Swami, so and so. I don't have to think. How it's not spontaneous. How habitually it comes out. You wake me up in the midnight, who are you? I am Swami, so and so. So in saying that I don't have to think, I don't have to ask somebody. Otherwise this fellow had to ask his wife everything. And so he died, or his wife says, hey, come on. So they thought that he's dead, and then they tied him up and stuff like that, and they were carrying him. And then he woke, he said, I'm not dead, I'm awake. He said, hey, doctors told you are dead, come on, shut up. He doesn't ask everything of his wife, but then that exists. But thus, what I am not is very, very clear, and what I am to this one. So we are mixing up the two, that is where the problem comes. So drudha prajna, as clear I am today as, who are you? I am Swami so and so. Without any effort, without having to remember, I am able to spontaneously, habitually say, I am so and so. When I say I am Brahman, in the same manner, I don't remember, I don't think. That is called abiding knowledge. Drudha prajna, the firm knowledge, abiding knowledge. How does that happen? Right now, I have this habit of declaring the body as myself. That habit is going on from the, countless births. Therefore, I am born with this notion I am the body, by default. Nobody will tell me. At one point, Shankaracharya says that we are telling this fellow hundreds of times, you are Brahman, you are Brahman, you are Brahman. Nothing happens to him. And without being told, he says, I am my mother, I am father, I am son, I am daughter. So also without being told, I know that I am so and so, I am brother, son, Swami, etc. So that is called as an example of firm knowledge. Not firm knowledge, is an example. That is a knowledge which does not require any thinking. It is sort of, I shouldn't call it spontaneous knowledge. It is habitual thing, really. Habitual and spontaneous are different. Habit can be changed, spontaneity is my nature, it cannot be changed. So it is, I am not Swami, that I call it knowledge. It is habitual knowledge. When I say I am Brahman, then that is the spontaneous knowledge. Dhrudha prajna, firm knowledge. As firm this notion is today that I am body, so firm becomes my knowledge, I am Brahman. I don't have to think. I abide in that knowledge. It has become me. That is assimilated knowledge. By Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. As Vedanta teaches, Atma are Shrotavya, Mantavya, Nididhyasitavya, Maitreyi. Say Jagna, say Maitreyi, Atma are Drashtavya. Atma must be known. Sir, how should it be known? Shrotavya. We listen to the Atma from a teacher. Mantavya. Having listened, and then you reflect upon that, and if there are any doubts, clear them. Again, dhyasitavya. The clear knowledge that you have, now you assimilate that. Make your own knowledge. The general knowledge was made my own knowledge. General knowledge is 24 times 5 is 120. That's the general knowledge. So when my milkman used to deliver milk, and every day 1 liter milk, 5 rupees. So 24 days, and then tuk, I know. So he started at 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I said, have you learned multiplication table? He says, yes. So what's the table of 24, 20, 48, 72? Yeah, this is the case of 24 days you brought milk and 5 rupees every day. So 24, you don't do 5, 10, 15, 20, 24. 5 times 24 is 120. But that he did not realize that is where the application comes here. He knows multiplication table. 24 times 5 is 120. But that is the application, that he doesn't know. So there is nididhyasanam. That knowledge becomes our knowledge. So what we learn is assimilated by me, becomes my knowledge. Then it ultimately becomes... So they say there are 3 kinds of obstacles to knowledge. Avarana, Samshaya and Viparya. First is ignorance, the first obstacle. Doubt is the second obstacle. And Viparya, Dehata Buddhi, the identification of the body is the third obstacle. For that Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam are said in the means, and so the knowledge becomes firm by constantly assimilating that knowledge, meditating upon that knowledge. Iti dhrudha prajna, that prajna should become dhrudha, should become spontaneous. That takes a long time, by the way. Right now, what is dhrudha prajna? I'm a human being. I'm tall, I'm short, I'm fair, I'm dark, I'm so and so. I'm Sridhar, I'm Devadatta. So spontaneous becomes my knowledge, I'm Brahman. That is called dhrudha prajna. And that takes a long time. Because this habit of taking the body to myself has become so rooted that I had overcome that rooted habit and created a new habit. Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi. So one who has done that, he is Chandalostu, Satudvijostu Guruhu, iti yesha Manisha mama. But this person is a Chandala, an untouchable, lowest in social order, or a Vipra or Brahmana, Dvijaha, the highest in the social order. See, the social order mattered a lot in those days, that is why it is mentioned here. It always matters to all human beings, not that this was not there in other societies. every society has this kind of caste order or class system, etc., in one way or the other. In New York also there is 21 club where you and I will not be allowed. There are places where other people are not allowed. So there are always these class divisions existing everywhere. Only thing that the Vedas did was they recognized it and they organized it. Anyway, so this Chandala and Vijaya, this business comes here because of the caste system, and we will not dwell upon that because it's a very controversial issue. The Hindus have, what shall I say, done injustice, been unfair, unjust to certain class of people by creating this caste system. And caste system was created to suppress some people, etc. All kinds of accusations are made, and you can bet. The idea of caste system was simply division of labor, that's all. It recognized that there are four kinds of people, and there are four kinds of aptitudes and four kinds of skills, and so divide the duties according to skills and aptitudes. Then each one will perform their duty in the best way. And that's how everybody, the society also gets the most contribution, and everybody also grows, becomes a contributor into the society. That was the purpose of the caste system, and it worked for quite a number of years. That is when India was very prosperous also. Later on, when these other people came and introduced all kinds of other notions, that is when a lot of confusion was created. But anyway, this whole thing starts with caste system, Chandala and Dvija. Gacha, gacha, move away, move away. This can be used against Shankaracharya, that look, this Brahmana, see how they used to treat these people, the untouchables. But Shankaracharya said it is measured not by gacha, gacha, move away, it is to measure about its Chandalas to Satu Dvijas to Guru. Whoever has this knowledge, whether he is an untouchable or he is a Brahmana, he is my Guru. Now, Guru enjoys the highest status in the life of a person. In fact, in India, very often Guru enjoyed a status greater than that of Ishvara also. Guru Govinda dono khade kako lagu paye, balihari Guru aapaki Govinda diyo dikhaaye. So says Kabir that at one point in time, my Guru and the Ishvara, Govinda, both of them are in front of me. Who should I salute first? Guru or Govinda? Alihari Guru Apaki, I'll salute my Guru first. But he showed me who Govinda is. So I would not have recognized Govinda other than except for my Guru, and therefore my Guru is my first salutation. So that is the kind of value, the reverence. And this is a unique thing about the Vedic culture, where Guru enjoys this kind of status. I'm sure Guru enjoys status everywhere, but not the kind of status that he enjoys in the Vedic society. Therefore, when Shankaracharya says he is my Guru, means he holds in the highest esteem. That's the whole idea. That even a Chandala also, he is held in the same esteem as my Guru, because I don't measure him by his birth, I measure him by his knowledge. Telling us thereby also, it is not by the birth that a person is evaluated, it is by his worth that we have to evaluate him. In this case, he should be evaluated by his knowledge, by his culture. Nakulam vruttahinasya pramanamiti me mati antyeshvari jatana vruttameva vishishyate. Vruttam means the conduct. Kulam means the birth. So what is it by which we should in fact measure a person? Na kulam vrittahinasya, one who doesn't have proper conduct. Even if he is of a high birth, I don't think that that is the pramanam. That is the criterion for respecting that person if his conduct is not in keeping with, his status. Antyeshvi jatana vrittam, and one who is born antya, meaning that born in the lowest caste social order, if his vrittam or conduct is noble, then vishishyate, he is certainly superior. So he says superiority is not decided by the birth. This is all said at that time, by the way. I am reading words from this tika where it says, Nakulam vrittahinasya pramanam iti me matehi. That kulam is pramanam. Kulam is not the measure of the worth of a person or the respectability of a person. It is the vrittam, it is the conduct. Anteshvi jatana, even though those who are born, even the lowest of the caste order, vrittame vishishyade, if the vrittam or the conduct is noble, then that is what makes them, distinguished from others. Therefore, because the question is, how can you say that this Chandala is Brahman? How can he be a guru? About guru also there are some special rules, and only Brahmana can be guru, other fellow cannot be guru. Then you are declaring a Chandala as a guru, how can you do that? He says, I don't see him as Chandala. He doesn't see himself as Chandala. He knows himself as Brahman. If he sees himself as Chandala, then he's Chandala, but he sees himself as Brahman, so he's Brahman. So when I say Chandala is my guru, not that Chandala, but what a Chandala knows himself to be, that Brahman is my guru. Because the Chandala or an untouchable also here knows himself as Brahman. And this is how Shankaracharya declared a Chandala also as his guru. So this is where the nobility of the Acharya comes out. Yes, he did say Gacha Gacha. Move away, move away. And one can take that as make that an issue and say, look at your Acharya. But we would rather see this reaction from Shankaracharya. And what he says, this is my guru. And so the vritta, this is the conduct of the Acharya from which we judge him. And so this is how the discussion of first verse is complete. We can proceed to the second verse now. Brahmaivaham jagaccha sakalam chinmatra vistaritam sarvam chaitad vidyaya trigunaya ashesham maya kalpitam Itham yasya drudamatis sukhatare nitye pare nirmale chandalostu satudvijostu guruhu ityesha manisha mama. So first Vakya said Prajnanam Brahma. The first verse explained to us this Mahavakya, Prajnanam Brahma, consciousness is Brahman, the self is Brahman. Comes from the Aitareya Upanishad, belongs to Rig Veda, Prajnanam Brahma. In the first verse, the first line described Prajnanam. Jagra Swapna Sushupteshu Sfutatara Ya Samvid Ujrumbhate, that consciousness that shines in the waking dream and deep sleep and illumines it all, that consciousness is Prajnanam, consciousness self. Ya Brahmadi Pipilikanda Tanushu Pruta Jagasa, and that is the self of all, that is Brahman. So first line describes Prajnanam, second line describes Brahman, third line Saevaham describing that Prajnanam alone is Brahman. So this Mahavakya Prajnanam Brahma, that belongs to the Aitareya Upanishad, that comes from Aitareya Upanishad, if it belongs to Rig Veda, is the subject matter of the first verse. Second one says Brahmayava Aham Brahmasmi. So Prajnanam Brahma from the Rig Veda, Aham Brahmasmi from the Yajur Veda. So the second verse is Brahmayava Aham. Aham Brahmayava, I am Brahma alone, I am Brahman. What do you mean you are Brahman? You know what Brahman means? Bruhatvad Brahma. Bruhi Vruddho, so that which is big. What is Brahman? Brahman means that which is big. Unconditionally, unqualified big, not big as in big house or a big mountain, the big, unqualified big, meaning that limitless. So word Brahma can be understood as limitless. Brahmayavaham, I am Brahman, I am limitless. How do you say that you are limitless? You are a small little entity. You are a little wave. This whole ocean, there is universe. How do you say that you are ocean? You are Brahman? He says, yes. Even the little nose-ring also can say, I am the self of all the ornaments. When this little nose-ring gives up its abhimanam, abhimanam means identification with a form and name, and identify with the fact that I am gold. So if this little nose-ring also shifts the identification from a form to the essence that is gold, it can say that I am the self of all the ornaments. That's all. The simple thing has to be done. We have to shift our attention from this costume to the self. Brahmayavaham. And so this is the second Mahavakya, Brahmayavaham. So in next class we'll see where it occurs in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad and how it is described there. We'll briefly see that and then proceed. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamada Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.